Hello, guys. Welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news here for you, and the headline of the news reads: Pro-B1àfrá group says Uzodinma must quit Imo government house come March 9 as they complain of the killing in Delta. All right, let's look at the news in detail. And then is having that members of the Biafran Zionist Federation (BZF) on Wednesday issue a fresh ultimatum to the Imo State Governor Senator Hope Uzodinma. The pro-Biafran group said Uzodinma must quit the Imo government house by March 9, 2020 for the sack Honorable Emeka Ihedioha of the People Democratic Party (PDP). This is also as they threaten to drag President Muhammadu Buhari and service chiefs to the International Criminal Court (ICC) over the latest killing across the country. The group spoke in reaction to the reported killing and burying of 7 villagers in Delta State community by suspected headsmen. Self-acclaimed president of the B1àfrá, Barrister Benjamin Onwoka, said in Enugu that the killing of the 7 villagers would not be swept under the carpet. He said that the group received with shock the gruesome murder of the helpless villagers and has perfected plans to take the matter to the International Criminal Court since the Muhammadu Buhari-led government is paying deaf ears to the atrocities caused by the headsmen. Onwoka alleged that the killing were no ordinary security issues but part of the game plan to hand over the Biafran territory to Islam by force. How would one explain that 7 persons, including a 7-year-old child, will be murdered in cold blood without any trace? The question we are asking is, are these headsmen spirit? How come they operate at will and none has ever been arrested? We want to make it clear that this will not go like other killings in the past. We are taking the case to the International Criminal Court where all those involved will be brought to book. Uzodinma Onwoka claimed that his government lacked legitimacy. According to him, he said, "We have already communicated the development in Imo State to the United States and actions are being taken. Uzodinma knows that he was not elected by the people, but was imposed on them by the Supreme Court as part of the game plan to force Islamic agenda on us. But we thank God that the US has taken interest in the matter, so we are telling Uzodinma to vacate the Imo government house before March 9. On that day, I shall be leading Emeka Ihedioha back to the government house," Onwoka boasted. All right, that's the news, and we just want to look at some of these issues that have been mentioned by the pro-Biafran group. All right, and the first in the list, he talked about the legitimacy of the office of Hope Uzodinma being the governor of Imo State, and the second one is looking at the killing that was recorded or that we recorded in Delta State, where Governor Okowa had to scream out that this is totally unacceptable, and that's just where we want to really talk about. It's really amazing that what we are seeing is happening, but that is why there had been a call that everyone should make sure security is their own business, because if we don't protect ourselves, then we may fall into the erring hands of these Fulani headsmen. It seems that they can't be regulated. It seems they cannot be stopped. As such, Nigerians have been enjoying to see how they can equip themselves better in terms of information so that we can handle the invasion of these people. I watched a video, someone on Facebook, and the person was driving and he was thanking God so much. And after a while, he had to stop on the way and showed some bullet marks on his car. And according to him, he said that he was actually on his way from Lokoja to Abuja. And on his way, he ran into headsmen who came out, about 10 of them facing him, and they were shooting sporadically. And he was so grateful to God how God has saved him. Now, this did not just come up a day ago. It had been come up maybe some 2 years ago. It happened fairly recently, and the guy posted it on Facebook. These are some of the things that bothers the mind a great deal. The question is, if we know the routes where these guys are, if we know the places where they can be found, why is it that everybody seems to be keeping quiet and be pretending that they seem not to know what is currently happening in the country? Because the truth of the matter is, we have been promised that when this government comes on board, every form of insecurity will be handled stresslessly and it will be curbed. But unfortunately, that is what we are saying. Now, this B1àfrá group saying, according to them, they say they are taking the matter far beyond Nigeria, the shores of Nigeria, because from all indication, it seems that the government of the day is doing little or nothing about it, and they want to bring it before the International Criminal Court, where they will fully outline the issues on ground and possibly call for justice. And we are waiting to hear how it will go about. Don't forget that the person who is in charge of this pro-Biafran group is actually a barrister, and for him to say this, it clearly shows that they have already taken moves towards that area. Don't also forget that the issue of Uzodinma that he has made mention has been quite a disturbing one for Nigeria, and we have the video has gone viral where the international community, precisely the United States of America, has expressed interest, and they are yearning to know what will be the aftermath of the issue that is currently bedeviling Imo State. Imo State, we all know, had been the person who was elected by the people was kicked out of office by the Supreme Court, and then Uzodinma just came into it, and that's some stuff that this Biafran group has said, that the president of Biafran group has said, that is really, really disturbing. One of it is that the purpose of bringing Uzodinma into government is to see how they can use him. That is a game plan to see how they can legitimize, force Islamic agenda on Nigerians, force Islamic agenda on Nigerians. Don't forget that Nigeria is a multi-religious group. So this statement bothers the heart a great deal in the direction that we are thinking that for them to be overly quiet, they need to be a way out of this, because and the only way out of it is to see how each of those regional, each of those geopolitical zones can build up their security system. Uzodinma, even in the last meeting that they had with the Inspector General of Police, when they were talking about Ogunigwe, Uzodinma was not even there in person, and most people believe that the reason that the issue of Uzodinma will go unsolved, reason being that Bayelsa has been given back to PDP, so there is no way that they can overturn the judgment of Imo State. But we are waiting to see. Don't forget that if you check our feed, you see when we played a video where some United States former Attorney General came up and clearly stated what the consequences of carrying out any flagrantly fraudulent verdict on people, and he made mention of the case of Emeka Ihedioha and said that if nothing is done about the case, that certainly they will place a ban on those judges, all the judges that are in the Supreme Court, and they will make sure that they do not step their feet on the soil of the United States of America. And they went further to say that if there is any form of asset owned by them that is located in the United States, that it will be confiscated immediately. Reason being that the United States do not want to have anything to do with anyone who is against the fundamental human right of any person. And with that alone, Nigeria believe that it would trigger a lot of attitude between the lawyers that's against themselves, because some of them, I believe, they have some reasonable assets in the United States, and they do not want to be referred to whenever they are making mention of that judicial precedent, because it was so glaring that actually Emeka Ihedioha won, but we do not really know how they calculated it, and at the end of the day, it was given to Uzodinma. So we are hopeful that even the judges of the Supreme Court want to restore back their own integrity. We want to restore back the dignity of judiciary, and that will result in them considering fervently, accurately. They will look at the matter once again, and if there's any room for them to make decisions outright, they won't mind to correct the mistakes that they have made. So, well, now Nigerians are watching. The pro-Biafran group said that already they are expectant that come the 9th of March 2020, that he will be the one to lead Emeka Ihedioha back to the office. But how true this will be is totally dependent on the judiciary. Despite the fact that we hear that so many people from different angles are overly interested in the case, but the truth still remains that the judiciary, the Supreme Court, have the final verdict. Don't forget that even the one who was championing the cause, talking about the Attorney General of the Federation and also the Minister of not Attorney General of the Federation, but the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Mohammed Tanko, will still be the one presiding over the case, the review of the case between Imo State, Emeka Ihedioha, and Hope Uzodinma. And he was still the one that sat back and made the decision. That's where there are a lot of fears. Most people were believing that he will not be a part of that group that will be reviewing the verdict again. But unfortunately, because of the slim number of persons who are working in the Supreme Court, they just can't do without him. He has been brought in again. Let's be hopeful that all of them will be working towards one direction, which is to restore back the dignity of the judiciary. Well, that's where we're going to leave it. Go to our comment section. Let us interact. What do you think will happen on that day, the 9th day of March, in respect to Imo State government house? Do you think that Uzodinma would truly be kicked out of that place by the Supreme Court, or do you think it's just